friends, well, I'm back and I'm here talking about this guitar. Very crazy looking guitar, one of the most craziest shape I have in my collection so far, which I've shown. Of course, I always am a fan of pointy and crazy shaped guitars. Unfortunately, there are a lot of issues about them, transporting, storage and all that, which we'll come to later, part of the show. So let's talk about a man first. You have heard of the person Max Cavalera, another of the metal gods, founder of Sepultura, Soulfly, I think Cavalera Conspiracy, Nailbound. So you name the genre of extreme metal, he has seen it all, he has done it all, he has covered it all, he has shown us the way. He is a person who is difficult to be described. You just tell him and you can talk about him as like he's a benchmark in metal. I mean, he did thrash metal, he did in the early albums of Sepultura a little bit towards the death metal style. He has done a little bit of let's say rap and new metal as well during the Soulfly days. A lot of revolution, a lot of aggression. So you just name the genre of extreme metal, he has put his hands on everything and he has done it perfectly. There's no questions about that. This here is his signature model. LTD, ESP LTD, Max Cavalera 200 RPR. Okay, so let's talk about the specs of the guitar. So if you see from the headstock, you have a signature logo. Okay, very pointy looking Jackson-ish. Yeah, something like Jackson. Jackson is kind of your headstock. Okay, all the tuning keys are in the single row. Well placed. It stays in tune. Very good tuning. Although they're just normal LTD tuning machine, but they're excellent. They're pretty good. Now this is one of the first ones about my ESP LTD collection, although I'm not a big fan of Japanese guitars, my preference, but I always admire the works done by LTD and Ibanez. I mean, if you're talking about metal gods or their signature models, most of the modern people, they use either way back in the 80s or 90s, either it was your Ibanez, and after the new millennia they started with this LTD or your ESP. Now the difference in ESP and LTD, they are the same company. ESP goes for the custom-made high-end shops, and the LTD covers the same models in a little lower price range, and there are some compromises in quality as well. Now going back to the thing, we have Graftec plastic nut, which is pretty stable in tune. Okay, we have, according to the specs, we have, I think, our Jatoba. It's kind of a reddish wood, which you see on the, if you can see it clearly, it's kind of reddish. Okay, Jatoba fretboard with Soulfly inlays, which are beautifully done. Very tribal, ethnic, and you see the crosses out here. This replicate the tattoos of Mr. Cavalera's arm, and there's a symbol for Soulfly. Okay, so well, this is a Jatoba, which is very dense wood, reddish in color, and it adds to the specs of the guitar. I'm not very sure of the sound quality which he makes compared to the rosewood. What I'm told is Jatoba is a kind of a rosewood. Okay, let's keep it to that because I won't be giving you the wrong knowledge. Okay, the neck is a gloss neck, very well painted, and this is mahogany. The body is mahogany as well, so it's pretty heavy. And the shape, if you see, well, what can I say? It is kind of explorer shape basically. Then you have the Dean Emil shape as well, with the curve out here and the cut out here. It looks like a V with the cut off edges out here, so you can fit in a thigh comfortably when you're sitting down. It's a tribal or a warrior shape as well, with give and take pieces here and there. So basically, it's like, a very new kind of a shape. And that's one of the reasons I was looking for this guitar for nearly one full year. I always wanted to buy it, but whenever I was willing to buy it, I have the money to buy it, it's out of the market. Then again, I have to wait. Thankfully, it was in my luck to come to my hands, I guess, and that's the reason I got it. Okay, that's a beautiful body. And now, even the back side of the body, it has the white bevels, to add on to the beauty. As you see, it's a very unique looking guitar, very beautiful as well. The white bevels on the black, it adds on to the curves of the body and it makes it look sweeter. That's what I feel. The pickups are ESP pickups, very high and sharp kind of sound, which you might have heard. That's what ESP does for this metal guitars. The volume and the tone knobs are made of metal with that chromium black metal kind of finish. Very simple setup for your bridge. It's a very simple, just as a normal tunematic bridge with stop tail. Three-way adjusting switch. That's the basic part of the guitar. And the special thing is, when Max Cavalera, he don't play this lower two strings. That's a bit about Max, because he don't use this lower strings. When he originally designed this guitar, which is RPR 600, that's also available in the market, even better looking. That this is the same shape, but the color is in white camouflage. I want to have that as well someday. But that has just one neck pickup. I'm sorry, I always tell this neck pickup, the bridge pickup, only one bridge pickup. There's no neck pickup in that. This is not there. And there are only 4 strings. This, and this. The lower E, the A, the D, and the G. There are no B and lower E out here, the higher E out here. That's how Max plays his guitar, and that's what this original design is. But this he probably designed for, people who adore Max. At the same time, they want to play different genres in the same guitar as well. This is like, if you want to buy one guitar for all different genres, so he might have been generous to add 2 more strings and an extra set of pickup for his design. So that's about the specs of the guitar. Now, one thing before you understand is that when you come for this kind of shape of guitars, I'll just show it to you. Now suppose I have my stand out here. Now all of the guitars sits well, but this one, you see, you have to be very careful when you're standing it. You see, it stands with a tilt. It won't fall off. You can be rest assured. Like Explorer shapes, you need a special kind of a stand. Not a regular stand will do, because your guitar is gonna stay this way. So you might be, a little bounce over here, it'll go off the kilter, and you might spoil the guitar or break the neck. So if you're buying a shape like this, that's one thing you should understand. Secondly, it don't come with a gig bag. It don't come with a gig bag. You have to buy it separately. And let me tell the fact on that. It was more difficult to buy a gig bag for this guitar than to buy the guitar itself. Because even in the limited market we have around, it's nowhere around in the shops. So I had to order this one, which says it's a Gator. Not too high quality. The padding is not all that good compared to the price. I can get much better bags if it was a regular shaped guitar. But this guitar case I had to order from Amazon. Thankfully, they just have 2 pieces. I just bought them both. Never know where I need to keep my guitars in. But if the people of ESP LTD are listening, when you make, or any other company as a matter of fact, if you make a guitar of some odd shape, please add a bag to the package. We'll be happy to pay the price, please. Because it's difficult for us to acquire a bag like this, which is not readily available every time in all the shops or even in the online market. So it's very difficult. And what happens is people drop the idea of buying a guitar of this shape just because they cannot buy the bag. So please, the manufacturers of any guitar, if you're making a guitar of odd shape, make sure it comes with a hard case or a soft case, and we as collectors or players are willing to pay the price for that. We cannot expect a free gift, we understand that. You have a costume to cover, but that's what we need. So that's about the guitar. Beautiful guitar, very unique guitar. It plays good, it looks good. So when you're carrying it, you are the king. You feel like you're owning a part of history, owning a piece of history which belonged to the designer hands of Mr. Cavalera, which is a big honor for us. Okay, now let's see how it sounds. Okay, so we'll start with the bridge pickup. Very sharp, cutty sound, as you can see. And now suppose I go to a little cleaner setting, let's say with a little bit of more reverb and a little softer sound. You see, the sound is meant for metal, not for other genres. If you're buying a guitar of this shape, of the signature Max Cavalera thing, I expect you to play metal. Frankly speaking, it'll look good if you play metal. I mean, you cannot expect someone to come like a jazz musician with a zoot suit or something, and he sits with a Max Cavalera guitar and playing jazz and clean tones. Well, it may sound good, but it'll look bad, right? Let's face the fact. Okay, now let's come to the neck pickup. It's much smoother sound, more bass, and I find a lot of sustain in the sound. I'm not doing anything. So I guess it's about half a minute long of sustain, which is good for metal. Okay, of course you can change the settings and get it to your liking. If you don't like the sound of the pickup, which is the signature pickup of Mr. Cavalera, then you can of course go for some EMGs or something like that, which is not a problem. You can always change the setup. So when we come to the middle position with both the pickups on, again a very good sustain. As a matter of a customer's point of view, I'm very happy owning this guitar. The price, it depends on which part of the world you are from. If you're buying the ESP version, it'll cost you about 3 times the price, and I don't think you get it much too often in the market, because that's supposed to be limited. Right? ESP does it that way, very custom made and limited edition. The remaining ones you get in the LTD version. This comes about in, let's say, $600 to $700 mark, which is not with the case, of course. $600 to $700 mark, which is a good medium range guitar, and I think this is the cheapest signature guitar which I have, because all the signature models are above that $1,000 and $2,000 range, or even more. This is comparatively much lower, good quality thing at a very moderate price, affordable price. I won't say it's very cheap, but it's pretty affordable. Now, the reason why you should buy it, I told you. One is that it is a signature design, which always is good and special specs. At the same time, it has always a very good resale value if ever you want to sell back a guitar and buy something else. So it draws a limited crowd, but a very serious crowd, because everyone always wants to own someone's signature guitar. So that's one thing. Second thing, the body is well constructed and very special looking. I mean, I haven't seen any guitar looking like this. It don't look like a proper BC Rich. It don't look like a normal Dean. It don't look like a typical V. It don't look like a typical Explorer. But you have the specs and the features of all of those guitars. Okay, so a well constructed guitar. Talking of the sound, it's very good. This is a metal guitar, basically. Like I told you, even if you play any other genre, it wouldn't look good. But you can adjust the settings. It has wonderful clean tools as well, because pickups, both of them, the ESP pickups, are very high output. So you keep it that way, and it sounds good in every kind of genre. I have been using this for more than 2 or 3 months, so I have played different genres of music, and it kind of sounds good enough for all the genres. So if you want to buy just one guitar, well, you can go for it. But the reason why you shouldn't buy the guitar, now understand this very carefully. One, it's very difficult to store it unless you have a special storage bag for this, which don't come with the set, which should have, but I don't know why they do that. So you have to first go for a bag which fits in, and then order the piece. Number two, it's difficult. You need a special special setup kind of thing to make it stand on your stand, a guitar stand. Either this or the other one which I have. It's very difficult to make it because it's always tilted. Now there are some stands which I've seen meant for explorers where you can raise one side and lower the other side. Well, that's good. If you have one of them, then you can go for the guitar. But otherwise, this is the two things you should keep in head, that you are not going to buy this guitar. And the third thing is, during transport, if it's not well packed, you might damage the sharp edges. Okay, so they're very pointy. Thankfully, when this was shipped to me, I had a damage out here. Okay, now you can see I covered it up. I could see the wood in. I could see the total wood exposed. But what I did was I added the paint. Now it looks like two finishes. This one is gloss, this is kind of matte, but that's the best I could do because it's very difficult to match the same setting. So these are the three things. One, storing is a problem. Second, transporting is a problem. And third thing, to make it stand is a problem. If you're okay with that, then please go ahead and buy this guitar, because this is a fabulous guitar. Alright, so now let's just see how it jams. Okay, so let's see how it jams and how it plays. I'll play somewhere, like not too metal, not too hard rock, somewhere in between, because metal and hard rock is easy to play in this guitar by the looks of it, by the pickup system and all that. Now if at all you're thinking of buying this guitar and you're not much into metal or hard rock, then what do? Do you go for this, or you just leave it, like saying it's not my forte or not my cup of tea? So let's just see how it sounds. Okay. that's it, and it plays fabulously. Now I started off the video with chugging on the riffs and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it's sounding good enough because that's what it's meant to be, and it looks like that. But if you want to get a little bit mellow with that hard rock kind of soft metal ballad kind of tone as well, it plays very good. Except for the shape, it's a complete guitar. You can play any kind of number, you can play any kind of music with this. But remember my points, I give it full 10 on 10 in my scale. Everything is speckless. But apart from the thing, I repeat, if someone is watching, please give a bag, add the bill, you know. We are happy to pay because it's a big hassle to get a bag which the guitar can fit into. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel if you still haven't. That's the appeal. We have just reached past 100, which is very encouraging for people like us. Let's make it to at least 500 within a couple of weeks which follow. I'll be adding new guitar reviews and other things as well. Please don't spend your money on drugs and other useless things in life. If you have nothing better to do, be like me, collect a guitar. Okay, it's gonna stay with you forever, and you can pass it on to the next generation as well if it's a good quality guitar. So please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and if you like or unlike my video, please do that. If you have any comments, they are very valuable to people like us, so send it over. I'll be most happy to learn from you and share my views. And if someone else uses the same guitar, please send in your views. I'd like to learn from your side as well. So until I see you next time, keep on practicing and follow my channel.